Now, this one right here, if I had this one, this part I'm getting into right now, as a standalone, standing out there by itself, this would stir up so much crap, because there's a whole denomination that bases everything they believe on this, and they have obviously never read the Bible, because there's no way you can get what they say out of this. Let's read it, okay? I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to give you the basis of it. In Revelation chapter 7, all right, let's look at this. The verse 3 says, "Do not harm the earth or the sea or the trees until we have sealed the bondservants of our God on their foreheads." These were the elect, okay? "And I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000. Here's the kicker. Sealed from every tribe of the sons of Israel. From the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000 were sealed. 12 from the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12,000. So you get the idea. We got 12,000 from each tribe. Now, are these the only ones that are saved? I don't think so. I don't think so. But this is a clear delineation that this is a specific group set aside for a specific purpose. And me personally, I kind of think that this might be the group who, if you look in Hosea, in Isaiah, Jeremiah, talks about that their eyes, even Jesus talks about their eyes are covered, they're blinded to the truth, they have covers over their ears. So the Jews, the Israelites, cannot hear, cannot see. And I think at this point, that group of 144,000 are the ones who are going to be shown the truth of the whole thing, that Jesus really is the Messiah, and those are going to be the ones that are responsible for going out and doing the witnessing at that point. Okay? So, if you read Hosea chapter 5, verse 1, it says the great wrath, which is Revelation, is set aside for Israel, for the priests, for the kings of Israel. Okay? And in Hosea 5:15, it says that Jesus, "I will return to my place until my people have acknowledged their indiscretion," means refusing Jesus as the Messiah. Okay? And actually I found it kind of funny because a buddy of mine has a Jewish Bible. It's a Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, and they don't include Hosea in it. So I wonder why. Anyway, so let me show you the other instance where it talks about the 144,000 in Revelation chapter 14, okay, verses 1 through 5. "And I looked, and behold, the Lamb was standing on Mount Zion." So he's standing on Mount Zion. So this is after the second coming, at or after the second coming, okay? "And with him 144,000, having his name and the name of his Father written on their foreheads." Oh, by the way, guys, just in case you didn't figure it out, we go to heaven, but we don't stay there. We come back to earth to have the millennium on earth, and then we get the new earth and the new heavens. Okay? We don't stay in heaven, guys. Okay, so back to reading. Verse 2. Chapter 14, verse 2. "And I heard a voice from heaven like the sound of many waters, and like the sound of loud thunder, and the voice which I heard was like the sound of harpists playing on their harps. And they sang a new song." The 144,000 sang a new song before the throne, before the four living creatures, and before the 24 elders. And no one could learn the song except the 144,000 who had been purchased from the earth. "These are the ones who have not been defiled with women, for they have kept themselves chaste. They're virgins. These are the ones who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These have been purchased from among men as firstfruits to God and to the Lamb. No lie was found in their mouth. They are blameless." Okay? So that's the two instances that talks about the 144,000 that I could find. So it's a very specific group set aside for a very specific reason, and that's the entirety of what we're given to understand about them. Okay? So don't get all twisted up trying to figure that out, because that's all you got. Okay? And I know people have taken that and twisted it and made a whole denomination out of it, and that's for them to decide what they want to do with that. So, but I can read. Those are 144,000 Jews, or not Jews, Israelites. Okay, so that leaves us one last group to talk about. That is the multitude. Let's look and see what it says about the multitude. Alright, Revelation chapter 7. Actually, let's look at chapter 6 first. Chapter 6, verses 9 through 11. And when he broke the fifth seal, I saw underneath the altar the souls of those who had been slain because of the word of God, and because of the testimony which they had maintained. And they cried out with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, wilt thou refrain from judging and avenging our blood on those who dwell on the earth? And there was given to each of them a white robe, and they were told that they should rest for a little while longer until the number of their fellow servants and their brethren who were to be killed, even as they had been, should be completed also. Okay? So let's look at the characteristics of the multitude. So first of all, the multitude comes out of every... that's where it says it? No, not here. So anyway, let's look at the characteristics we're given here. They're told to wait. They're underneath the throne, the altar of God. So anybody that says when we die we just go to sleep, you need to read a little bit further, because their souls are underneath the altar. Okay? They're awake. They're looking around and they're asking questions. They're given a white robe, and they're told to wait for a little while longer till the number of the fellow brethren who had killed like they were should be complete. So that's the characteristics we see so far. Then if we come down here to chapter 7, in the same chapter, let's go to chapter 7, I'm sorry, and let's look at verse 9. Alright. After these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude, which no one could count, from every nation and tribe and people and tongue, standing before the throne, before the Lamb, clothed in white robes. So we got white robes like we had from 6:9, or actually 6:11, and they had palm branches in their hand. And they cry out with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb. What's missing from that picture, if that's going to be the Christians, if the multitude is the Christians, all the Christians, from Jesus to now? There's no crown. And I think I've already shown that we get a crown. We're going to sit in judgment. The multitude has no crown. You know? Is there any other place where this talks about this? Well, let's continue on. Look at verse 13. And one of the elders answered, saying to me, to John. Okay, so one of the elders is talking to John, saying, These who are clothed in the white robes, who are they, and from where have they come? And John, I said to him, My Lord, you know. He's kind of saying like, Hey man, don't give me a start line. You know about it, tell me. And he said to John, These are the ones who come out of the great tribulation. Hello, the great tribulation. And they have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. For this reason they are before the throne of God, and they serve him day and night in his temple, and he who sits on the throne shall spread his tabernacle over them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun beat down on them, nor any heat. So, for those of y'all who say that nobody's going to get saved during the Great Tribulation, right there, that's the group, the multitude. Great multitude, nobody can count, is going to be saved during the Great Tribulation. Okay? And it's during the Great Tribulation. So, everybody before the Great Tribulation is not mentioned here. These specifically says, in verse 14 it says, These are the ones who come out of the Great Tribulation. Okay? Specific. Now, let's look over back to chapter 20 and look at this real quick. Okay?